Welcome again to our channel Gyanmanjari Online Education. So my dear all students, I hope you all are fine and safe at your home. In our last lecture, we completed our first poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. So in that poem, so many figure of speech were used. So I told you that in our next lecture, we will see that. So today, my dear all students, today we will learn the new topic, such kind of new topic, and that is figure of speech, which is the part of grammar. You will get more information about figure of speech in next standard, 10th standard, but today means in this year I will give you some information about figure of speech, that what the poet thinks, how they use different kinds of figure of speech. So let's get started. So we have total 3 figure of speech today we will cover. We'll try to cover more. So first figure of speech is personification, then alteration, and the third one is anaphora. So let's go one by one. So our first figure of speech is personification. So let's see what it means. So personification, so it's a kind of name, person, so it's related to person, right? So let's see. Everyone knows what a person is. We all know that what person is. But do you know what personification is? We know the term person, right? But we don't know the term personification. So let's see, what do you mean by personification? So it is when you assign the qualities of a person to something that is not human or that is not even alive, such as nature or household items. So what is personification? What do you mean by personification? How we use personification? So the personification, that term, is when you assign the qualities of a person to something that is not human or that is not even alive. So when we compare or that kind of qualities, when we use the qualities for human being, but in the poem, the poet used that kind of qualities for non-living things also, or that are not alive, or just for also nature. So when the poet used that kind of qualities, which kind of qualities? The qualities of a human being. When the poet used the qualities of human being to something which is not alive or which is related to nature. So on that times it is called personification. Work through this personification examples to see how well you understand the concept. So let's see. Personification is often found in literature and poetry to help human readers relate to non-human objects. Like, so when we use some kind of phrases, some kind of qualities which we use specially for human beings, but when we use that qualities into, or in otherwise when we use those qualities for non-living things or for nature, so that time it is called personification. So here we have the example. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills. So this is the example of personification, and let me give you the another example of personification, that when a proper qualities, like how beautiful the flower is. So this is also, we can call them personification. So many personifications so many figures of speech are there which the poet used in that poem to make it more attractive, to make it more beautiful, right? So many figure of speech are there, but it is not essential, it is not required that the poet use all the figure of speech in specific poem. So based on that requirement, the poet use different kinds of figures of speech. So this was our first figure of speech, and that was personification. So let's go further, and the second is alliteration. So let's see what do you mean by alliteration. Alliteration is a term to describe a literary device in which a series of words begin with the same consonant sound. So alliteration, what do you mean by alliteration? So some words are there, specific words are there which has the same kind of series of words but which begins with same consonant sound. Okay, not vowel sound but the same consonant sound. So they are called alliteration. Alliteration is meant to be more than a tongue twisting through. It's used to emphasize something important that a writer or speaker would like to express. So some that kind of sentence are there, important sentence are there, or when the poet want to highlight some words or phrases, on that time the poet has used. So let's see, she shall, she sells seashells. So it's our alliteration. She sells seashells, right? So here we can see, we can hear the pronunciation here. Sound is that. So it is consonant sound. So this example is very appropriate as a alliteration because is consonant sound and the repetition of same sound. She sells seashells. So same kind of consonant sounds are there. So that's why this is our alliteration. Walter wondered where Winnie was. So here we can see V sound here. Walter wondered where Winnie was. So here we can also see the same consonant sound, the repetition. The word repetition we have to remember the repetition of same sound, same consonant sound. So they are all alliteration. Blue baby bonnets bobbed through the bag. So here we can see boo sound is that, boo, right? So here also we can see, so here we can, we saw through the bag. So you think that these two words are there, but it is not necessary. We have to see more than two words, right? So here blue, baby, bonnets, bob, so many words are there as one sentence. But it is required that the sentence is connected with each other words. Okay, not like cat, cookie. So that kind of sentence are not essential. We have to make a proper sentence as a alliteration. Okay, so meaningful sentence we have to make. Next, Nick knitted new notebooks. So here we can see the n sound. Nick knitted new notebooks. So here also the alliteration sound. Fred fried frogs legs on Friday. So here we can see, so you can see all the sounds are related to consonant sound, right? The same sound of consonant words or consonant sounds. So they are called alliteration. So the poet used this kind of figure of speech to make that poem more and more attractive. So next is anaphora. So let's see, what do you mean by anaphora? Anaphora is a rhetorical device used to emphasize a phrase while adding rhythm to a passage. Which kind of rhythm? We will see. So this technique consists of repeating a specific word or phrase at the beginning of a line or passage. So here very little difference between alliteration and anaphora. Okay, so in alliteration we saw the same sound of consonant, right? But in anaphora this technique consists of repeating a specific word. Here we will go with specific word, repetition of specific word in anaphora, and in alliteration same sound of consonant. Okay, so same sound is different and same word is also different. You all know that very well. So the repetition of a word can intensify the overall meaning of the piece. Writers and public speakers use anaphora as a form of persuasion, as a method of emphasis a specific idea, or as an artistic element. So why the poet or the speaker or the writer use this kind of figure of speech? Just to attract the readers, to attract the people who listen them, right? If they use this kind of figure of speech to make their literature more and more beautiful and more important. So here we have some examples of anaphora. I came, I saw, I conquered. So this sentence is taken from Julius Caesar, the very good play of Shakespeare. So here we can see the same word, the repetition of same word. I came, I saw, I conquered. So the word I is repeated, right? So that's why it's anaphora. Made war, made kings, mad composition. So here mad word is repeated. The specific word is repeated, right? So here you can see what is the difference between alliteration and anaphora. King John II by William Shakespeare. So this kind of things, this kind of sentences are used in the specific poem or specific play. So this last made word, mad kings, mad composition, it was taken from King John II by William Shakespeare, the very well-known playwright of English literature. So next, it was the best of time, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. So this sentence, there are so many words which are repeated. It was the best, it was the worst, it was the, so it was the, so these three words are repeated so many times. Times and times also. No, there is not times in second. Okay, so it was the, so these three words are repeated for 3 times, right? So this is anaphora. So this sentence is taken from A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Okay, students, so it was our 3 figure of speech. Okay. So my dear all students, here you have your homework, concept of the figures of speech discussed today with their examples. So today we cover 3 figures of speech: anaphora, personification and alliteration. Okay, so you have to write down the concept, the definition for this 3 figures of speech, how we use, what is the definition of them and which kind of examples are done. So you can also add whatever you have in your mind. Okay. So thank you, my dear all students. You all are free to ask me if you have any query. Thank you, my dear students.